So after a long winter, I can't wait to get my hands in some soil and get dirty. So to show us how to do it, we have Meredith Sheperd here from Loving Carrots, who's going to break down how to make the most of the growing season. Hey, Meredith.
How you doing, Michael? Starting in the spring, you want to get an early start, right, to get those vegetables in the ground.
Absolutely.
And a great way to do that is to start your seeds indoors. So that's what I'm going to talk about today.
Okay. Now, where'd you get the name Loving Carrots?
Well, it's kind of a play on love and care for your garden.
Get
it?
I like it.
So yeah, we went with it. I thought, can I do that?
I love it.
I think I can.
Yes,
so I did.
I love it, and I like carrots, so that works.
Awesome. Well, thanks. So to start, you need to get a good seed starting soil mix. We make our own at Loving Carrots.
Okay.
And in that is...
Can we just find that at a hardware store?
You can. You can find it at a hardware store. I would go for an organic one because we like to grow organically.
Yeah.
But it's basically an absorbent soil with all the nutrients that the seeds need to get started.
Okay.
We use
Cool.
a mix of compost, worm castings, vermiculite, and peat moss.
Okay, cool.
And that works pretty well. So,
So we start indoors.
yeah, you start indoors.
We just get one of these little fancy things at
this is
the hardware store.
This is a 6-pack. It's just a seed starter. It's got little small plugs where you put the seeds, and then when you're ready to transplant them outside, you'll just pick them out and put them in the ground.
Cool, perfect.
So first place to start is to fill it up with soil.
Okay.
So I brought some soil here.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna
Can I
fill
just
it up.
put my hand in that too?
Oh yeah, get in there.
Can I
It's
help?
great.
Okay. It's so, I find it so just relaxing,
Yeah.
and it just takes me back to like, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is what life's supposed to be.
That's perfect. So you don't want to pack it in.
You don't?
You don't want to pack it in. You
Okay.
want it to be a nice, like, firm but loose fit.
Firm but loose fit.
Mm-hmm.
Like my clothes.
Right. Exactly. That's
And my
what
bras.
we go for.
Yes. That's another segment.
So I like to press it down just a little bit to make sure that there's no airspace, so that when you water it, it doesn't collapse.
Ah, okay.
And then you put the seeds in. I brought
Okay.
2 different kinds of seeds today, peas and lettuce.
Nice.
Both are early spring crops, so you want to
Okay.
start them, in the early March.
Nice.
And both are different sizes, and I'm going to talk a little bit about seed size and seed depth, because how deep are you supposed to plant your seed?
That was my next question.
So let's start with the pea, because there's an easy little exercise to figure that out.
Peas.
So peas are a pretty big seed compared to lettuce, and the general rule of thumb is that you want to plant the seed with twice as much soil on top. So think of the width of this pea seed, and then double that, and that's how much soil you put on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So with the pea
I never
seed,
knew that. I always, because you read it and it says like half an inch or a quarter inch or whatever, but that's a good rule of thumb.
Well, that's a great place to look at it too, is right on the packet.
Right.
But if you don't have the packet or whatever, then
Yeah.
you can just, so small.
If you hustle some seeds from somewhere, hey, give me those seeds.
Or you saved your own.
Yeah, you
even.
saved your own, right.
So, yeah, the bigger the seed, the deeper it goes.
Okay.
As a basic rule
Cool.
of thumb. So with this pea seed, you're going to put it in about half an inch, because that's about double. So you just poke it in like that.
Nice.
And we can do some more. You want to do some?
Yeah, I want to do one.
There you go.
Thank you.
We'll do 3 of these.
Okay.
Just poke it in, and
Nice.
then kind of cover it up.
Seems like it was
Yeah, that
about
was
the same.
Perfect. My gosh, you're good
Okay.
at this. There you go. That's great.
Nice.
So then lettuce seeds, as you can see, this is Bib lettuce. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's kind of a butter lettuce. Lettuce seeds are much, much smaller
Tiny.
than
Look at these things.
than pea seeds. Yeah, they're
Tiny.
little. For these, you just want to sprinkle them on top of the soil, and then just barely cover them.
Really?
So there you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
Just
Those
sprinkle
two
on
cells.
top.
Yep, just sprinkle on
And
top of the
barely
soil.
cover them. And it's okay to have like several?
Yeah, so
one little-
in seeding, you always want to overseed. So our intention is to have 1 lettuce plant per square, but we're not sure that each one of the seeds is going to germinate. So we're
Okay.
overseeding, and then later we're going to thin them, which I'll talk about in a second.
Okay.
After you put the seeds in and cover the soil,
Uh-huh.
you want to water them pretty lightly. The goal is to have the soil about the wetness of a moist sponge, of a wrung-out sponge.
Got
So
it.
imagine a sopping wet sponge that's too wet.
Too wet.
A dry sponge that's hard is too dry. Imagine a sponge that's been wet and then wrung out. That's
perfect.
That's your goal.
Okay. So then we've watered them correctly.
And
then we move to.
And then they pop up, and this is what a newly germinated seed looks like. Each seed has the energy and all the material in it to produce two of these little leaf-like things. They're not actually leaves, believe it or not.
They're not.
They're not.
I was wondering because it always seems like they look the same.
Yeah.
But they're nubs, or it's probably
They're
not the horticultural
nubby,
term, but
well, the horticultural term is cotyledons.
Cotyledons.
Which is a bit of a mouthful.
Okay.
But each seed inside has the energy to create fat.
Cool.
And after that comes up, it starts photosynthesizing, and then the next step is to thin them. So here you can see this is actually Swiss chard, but since we put 2 or 3 seeds in each hole, all the plants have come up. So now we have to thin them out to give the adult plants more space.
Okay.
You just get some scissors and clip out. You pick the winner and then clip out the rest.
So how do you choose the winner?
Well, you just look and see which one's the biggest, which one looks the most healthy. So in this cell, I'm going to choose this guy and then cut out the rest.
I always feel like bad that I don't try to save them all.
Well, you're not going to waste, these aren't going to go to waste.
I'm not?
So I recommend doing this with a colander and collecting your thinnings in the colander. Then you can take the thinnings directly to the sink, rinse them off, and you can have a great little microgreen salad. It's really nutritious.
Okay. So when we cut it off, it's not going to grow back. The winner's going to win, basically.
Nope, because you cut it back. You cut it off right at the soil level, just like that.
Right at the soil level.
There we go. Just like that.
Cool.
And so later on, they grow even larger, and they look like this. And the way to know when they're ready to put in the ground is once they get a couple true leaves. So these were cotyledons. The true leaves actually look like leaves.
Like leaves.
So in this plant.
And is this is there a height typically, if it's like that certain height, or?
Well, you're not actually looking for the height because plants vary. What you're looking for is that the roots have actually filled in the plug. It's called a plug.
Okay.
So you can see that how I popped that right out.
Yeah.
That's because the roots have kind of filled in enough that they've grabbed onto the soil and they can pop right out. So this is ready to go in the garden.
Interesting. And then you just pop it right into the garden.
Pop it right in, bury it right at the top of the plug level, and you should have some great kale in the spring.
Cool. Excellent. Well, Meredith, this has been awesome. Thank you. I can't wait to just put this all into practice. I feel like I got my skills. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Yes. Loving carrots, kid.